Hello students, we are back with Unit 3 important questions of Business Economics, BCom, Semester 5, final year. So, when you come to this, when you look into the concepts of demand and supply, they are completely opposite to each other. Okay, the curve, everything is opposite. So, what is happening here? When you read law of demand, increase, decrease, or extension contraction, you will be able to know it for the supply as well. So do not much worry about this. If you learn one concept, you can straight away write it for the other. I'll show you how. And the next ones are consumer equilibrium and indifference curve analysis, of which indifference curve analysis is the most important. You cannot ignore this. So let's start. Supply analysis. So when you start reading, everything goes this way. When price increases, supply increases, price decreases, supply decreases. Simple meaning and definition. Then comes law of supply. Like I've told you, for law of demand, law of supply is most important. You will have any answer that you're getting from supply, you will have to write this supply function. It's here and it's here. Now, what are the factors that affects supply? Cost of supply, state of technology, which I think you can write it from your own words. Okay. So that I have just included 4 of this because this unit have got more other important aspects. Now, relationship, like we have seen demand curve table. Now we will be seeing it for the same supply. So supply way, the demand curve flows this way, but the supply curve flows positively. Now comes assumptions of law of supply. Exceptions for law of supply. Elasticity of supply. So elasticity, same type like we had in for demand. We have again got 5 types of elasticity of supply. So this is it. Perfectly elastic supply, perfectly inelastic supply, relatively elastic supply, relatively inelastic supply, and unitary elastic supply. The same thing if you do it for demand, you will know it for supply. Now, important topics here. You will have to look into consumer surplus. The topic says a consumer surplus is anything in excess. So what is happening here? Let's say you all go for shopping. Let's say it's your birthday and you want to shop for yourself, and your parents have given you 2000 rupees. So when your parents have given you 2000 rupees, that's a fixed budget in your mind. What will you do there? You will go to the store, look for a dress, and you finalize a dress. You like a dress which is costing you 1800. So what is happening there? You're saving 200 rupees. This 200 rupees is nothing but surplus. Something what you had in your head and something where you have spent less than the amount given, that excess would be known as consumer surplus. So when you put it graphically, this is how your graph will look. Okay. Let's say this is your the entire amount is your 2000 rupees. Out of this 2000 rupees, you went and you have just spent 1800 rupees. This is your satisfied area. Something that is you have not spent, that is your excess area. That excess area is denoted as this way. So this is important. Remember this. So mathematically, if you want to remember this, you have to plot these points and then you have to do this. Like. Now comes assumptions of consumer surplus. This is how you will have to plot them. Next comes applications of consumer surplus. Then comes market equilibrium. Market equilibrium is nothing but a point where the demand and the supply curve meets, and the meeting point is known as market equilibrium. Got it? So that should be the ideal price and the ideal quantity. Key points of market equilibrium and disequilibrium. Excess demand, shortage. Next important concepts are budget line. So budget line is this. This budget line is so much like our indifference curve. Indifference curve mein we did consumer analysis and now budget analysis. Okay, the same thing that you have got 2 different kinds of pens. Which kind of pen will give you more satisfaction with your available budget? This really helps the business so much in deciding which project is better, where the amount needs to be invested. So budget line, whatever is under that, that's an affordable area, and above that it would be non-affordable area. assumptions, conclusion. Now comes shifts in budget line. Same thing like demand, we had increase decrease. So here also we have got increase decrease in the budget line. Now if entire thing is increasing, you can understand, but sometimes what happens is the shift happens only for one of the commodity and not for the other commodity. Then the graph would look this way, this and this. Now comes shifts in budget line. There are again this types. The one which I have told you graphically, there is a flow chart for this. Now comes indifference curve. Now without reading this answer, you should not even go to your examination, like law of DMU and EMU. So indifference curve, you are being indifferent to two different commodities, good X and good Y. Here we have got a concept called marginal rate of substitution. Okay. In what rate are you foregoing one commodity over the other commodity? This is how you graphically you look into the plot and the formula for this. Change in quantity of X by change in quantity of Y. The reasons. Conclusion. Now this indifference curve has got 4 properties. What are those 4 properties? Most important ones. It is always negatively sloped, which means it will look like this. Next property is it is always convex to the origin, which is this. Next is they do not intersect each other, which means no IC curve would look like this. They'll all be convex to the origin, but they do not never intersect each other. And the last one is the higher the indifference curve, the greater the satisfaction level will be. The curve would be this way. Okay. Now this is done with indifference curve, which you are not going without preparing. Next comes your consumer equilibrium. So this is the concept, consumer equilibrium. At which point of time, with what price? Let's say you're purchasing the price of the commodity is 8 rupees, and the satisfaction that you're getting is 8 rupees. You will be satisfied, no? Sometimes what happens is you are spending 10 rupees. You're spending that 10 rupees to buy a chocolate. Will it satisfy your hunger? No. The same 10 rupees you're purchasing for buying biscuit packet. What will give you more satisfaction? The concept is how much amount of money you have spent and how much satisfaction are you deriving from this is known as consumer equilibrium. Consumer equilibrium in relation with indifference curve analysis. So this is for unit 3. Thank you students, all the best.